I am a singer, poet, rapper, songwriter, journalism and public relations student, and firstborn of my dad. I grew up listening to a lot of different varieties of music. There was jazz, R&B, pop, rap, a lot of rap because my mom was like a huge Tupac and B.I.G. fan. But for me, I feel like Beyonce was like one of those influences that almost every girl my age at that point was listening to. A bit of Sierra. Let's see, Kirk Franklin was in the picture at that point. I started writing music when I was 11. I think that's the first time I composed like an actual song. It was a horrible song, but at least it was a full song. My journey in music has been an interesting one, from washing plates in my grandmother's kitchen to joining a choir at church to, winning rap battles at Youth Alive in high school to, there was actually a point when I did audition for Kidstar and I didn't make the cut when I was like 8 years old. I would describe myself as honest, very extremely honest, because I feel like my music comes from the deepest, most inner parts of my being, and I'm not afraid to show what has hurt me, what has scarred me, what I believe in.
Like many artists we know today, Keisha's story started when she was very young. She's a poet, singer, rapper, and actor. She's a daring artist and shows no fear in expressing herself or in being vulnerable through her music.
Like love was forbidden fruit. They tell you that it's wrong to
Her childhood struggles with pain and depression played a major role in shaping her perspective on life and shaping her artistic expressions.
Have your lies walking naked but you cover up the truth.
Keisha is formerly known as the Black Rose. She presents a fusion of soul, poetry, and rap with dark and gothic undertones and yet a relatable message overall. She remains passionate about her music and continues to make mind-provoking content.
You're a beautiful being, that you should be freeing, that you should be freeing, so freeing for you. Don't you jab to the groove.
I heard about Keisha in early 2015. I remember listening to her music then.
I heard Keisha from my brother Abel Musuka. He told me, he came to I think it was at the studio or something. He's like, Seya, there's this youngster. She's bad news. I think she was like 16.
My first impression of Keisha was she was quite mature for her age, both in the music she made and my interactions with her as a person.
What I heard was a young girl who had a lot to say, a young girl who had who went through a lot, and she was not ashamed of talking about what she had gone through, and she was not ashamed to share her experiences with the rest of the world, and that got my attention.
What stands out for me with Keisha is first of all, her character. I think for me that's always a big deal. Like, you can have all the talent in the world, but if your character sucks, it will reflect in your talent.
I saw a young girl who was broken, and she embraced her brokenness, and she was ready to talk about it.
I think people need to remember how young she is. I think it's easy to forget, but she's actually quite young, and the pressure and the kind of stuff she talks about, it takes a lot of courage to actually do what she does.
You say God don't care about you. You say he don't see your trouble. So just breathe. You say God don't care about you. You say he don't see your trouble. The story behind, or the message behind the song Breathe, is basically asking people to let out their frustrations and just, let loose. Because there are a lot of times that we get very caught up with life and living, and anxiety gets to us, and we have like all these different past experiences that are choking us up inside. But I got valid proof that Jesus does. If he didn't, what's the air inside your lungs? And I kind of feel that we forget to breathe sometimes. We forget to understand that we are human, and that we also deserve a break. It's hard to be alive, baby, I know. So the song just talks about that. Just breathe, regardless of what's happening, whether there's a storm, whether there's a fire, just breathe, and God has your back. But even from a rock, a flower still blooms. So come to Jesus Christ, let him nurse your soul. Let him elevate your spirit, make it grow. See, your heart is bleeding drastically. Can't climb the mountain, broken feet. It's hard for you to be alive. Day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. No changes to being tired of life. It seems no one can see you losing peace of mind. 'Cause sometimes the rain comes to grow the flower. Sometimes the rain comes to drown it up. We must seek comfort from our Creator, who gave us life not to give it up. So just breathe. So just breathe. You say God don't care about you. You say he don't see your troubles. But I got valid proof that Jesus does. If he didn't, what's the air inside your lungs? It's hard to be alive, baby, I know. But even from a rock, a flower still blooms. So come to Jesus Christ, let him nurse your soul. Let him elevate your spirit. 'Cause sometimes the rain comes to grow the flower. Sometimes the rain comes to drown it up. We must seek comfort from our Creator, who gave us life not to give it up. So just breathe. So just breathe. Oh, oh, won't you breathe for me? Won't you breathe for me? Won't you breathe for me? Sometimes the rain comes to grow the flower. Sometimes the rain comes to drown it up. We must seek comfort from our Creator, who gave us life not to give it up. So just breathe. So just breathe. So
Because I've had people trying to inbox me and talk and open up about something that is really hurting them, but I'm also in that box. Like, I'm still not healing. I've been trying to find the healing.
And hence the self-harm or the wanting to die so you don't take away people's sunshine. Because every time you come through, it's like a dark cloud falls upon them or something. Looking at, my entire life story and how I've been sharing how I suffered from depression, kind of still struggling with it, and tried suicide 4 or 5 times. My mom especially was somebody that I loved dearly and held close to my heart. When I was 6 years old, she was going through a lot at that point. To this day, I don't understand, and I really wish that I could ask her what exactly. But when I was 6, she locked me in a room with her for 2 hours, holding a knife in different positions, trying to commit suicide.
It's really hard to respond to somebody and find a way to help them when you're dealing with something yourself. Because I've had people trying to inbox me and talk and open up about something that is really hurting them, but I'm also in that box. Like, I'm still not healing. I've been trying to find the healing from my pain since my dad left me. It gets hard, so you can't really help somebody if you don't have the help yourself. So it's hard. Sometimes you might maybe offer a solution as a Christian and give them hope, saying, "Come on, this thing is just time," and then like, at the end of the day, there's light at the end of the tunnel. But within yourself, you're also hurting. So depression really messes you up. So sometimes I don't know how to handle situations like that.
Being 6 years old at that point, I didn't really understand what was going on or why she was so sad or why things were happening the way they were. But for me, I loved her regardless. 6 years old, locked up in a room with your mom, trying to commit suicide for 2 hours, kind of, I don't know, regardless of the fact that you're a kid, you just, subconsciously, it starts to build you. The trauma starts to feed your mind different analogies and perspectives. And I guess subconsciously I had no idea that was what was going on the inside of me.
She changed me actually, because my childhood I was defiled myself. Since it was so hard for me to move on and stuff, I even stopped going to church for I think that was 5 years. I never used to go to church. So my grandfather was like, "Okay, I'm gonna take you to the village." He talks to me, but at first I didn't really take it that serious because I was like, I didn't want to move out of it.
Most people.
Exactly. I didn't want to move out of it. So he would talk, I'd be like, whatever. He would talk, I'd be like, whatever. Until my sister got sick. So when she got sick, she left me some few words, Since she was there at the time I was being defiled. And she said, "I know what you're going through and stuff." Then I was like, okay, fine. Then I can move on with this, I can just leave it behind.
Light is fading, stars are dimming, snakes are hissing, cast out of Eden. Savagery is a new religion. Hurt the earth, feel like sense I'm trending. Nobody wanna show love cause it ain't. Well, being somebody that's been a victim of cyberbullying. Trending windows to go hard is the way. Don't matter who getting hurt by the wave. Petty is bad, doesn't matter your pain. Looking at a lot of people that have been affected by negative comments or how people share and make memes out of them and cause them to just fall into depression or something drastic like suicide attempts, I kind of felt like it was necessary to spread the message of love again, because I feel like that's what, the world is trying to dilute. Who teaching us to be soulless, ignoring depression even though it is a sad fact. Letting people everywhere understand that if they got scars and everything, they should be allowed or be at liberty to share them, regardless of what's going on, regardless of how people are going to judge them, because, those are your scars and they make you a better person. Where your mess is where your message is. Suicidal people on my timeline, they don't feel that. Light is fading, stars are dimming, snakes are hissing, cast out of Eden. Savagery is our new religion. Hurt the hurt, feel like sense and trending. Nobody wanna show love cause it ain't trending on us who go hard as a way. Don't matter who getting hurt by the wave. Petty is bad, doesn't matter your pain. Nah, who teaching us to be soulless? Feeding on another man's misfortune for a few laughs. Ignoring depression even though it is a sad fact. Suicidal people on my timeline, they don't feel that. Light up, show love all the time, just light up. Show love all the time, just light up. Show love all the time, just light up. Light up, light up, yeah, light up. Show love all the time, just light up. Show love all the time, just light up. Show love all the time, just light up. Light up, light up, yeah. I'm a saddest little light in me. Be the change I don't wanna see. They told me you gon' be a living testimony. So I'm chasing dreams, never fantasies. Extra careful with a snake hiss. Fake friends, how to shape shit. You an extraordinary being, but they're trying to make you feel basic. Dripping in my scars, I'm elevate. From the love, I meditate. Knowing God finna elevate. Never be afraid to show the pain. It's alright, I got scars and Jesus loved me too. It's alright, I got wounds and I bleed just like light up. Show love all the time, just light up. Show love all the time, just light up. Show love all the time, just light up. Light up, light up, yeah, light up. Show love all the time, just light up. Show love all the time, just light up. Show love all the time, just light up. Light up, yeah. Light up, light up, light up, yeah. The food is forbidden, eating isn't safe, yeah. Isn't safe, yeah. Light up, yeah. The food is forbidden, eating isn't safe, yeah. Isn't safe, yeah. Light up, yeah. The food is forbidden, eating isn't safe, yeah. Isn't safe, yeah. Light up, yeah. The food is forbidden, eating isn't safe, yeah. Isn't safe, yeah. Light up, show love all the time, just light up. Show love all the time, just light up. Show love all the time, just light up. Light up, yeah, light up. Show love all the time, just light up. Show love all the time, just light up. Show love all the time, just light up. Light up, yeah. Turn the lights on, yeah. Turn the lights on, yeah. Turn the lights on, yeah. Light up, yeah. Show love, show love. Light up. At the end of the day, you start to blame yourself for a lot of things. You start to blame yourself for not being like other kids or not functioning like other kids. And hence the self-harm or the wanting to die so you don't take away people's sunshine. Because every time you come through, it's like a dark cloud falls upon them or something. In all honesty, I wouldn't wish it upon any other kid. You know, you don't, I hope that someone somewhere is able to identify what their problem and is able to fix whatever it is that's going on and seek help. Because that's one thing I didn't have. I didn't have help or counseling. I realized that if I am what I do, then I need to change what I do in order for me to be a better person. So cutting off those bad habits, the alcohol, the smoking, and doing better things like deliberately going out and exploring different sites, deliberately hanging out with friends even though you don't feel like it, deliberately finishing that project, deliberately, I don't know, just live. You know, I feel like that's the hardest thing to do for somebody that feels like they're dying, but live, because that is the only way that you're ever going to get the comfort that you feel that you need or deserve, you know. And I also believe that God is the only person that can make you whole, that can make me whole. So at the end of the day, you look for it in relationships, you look for it in friendships, you look for it in alcohol, you won't find it. If God doesn't give it to you, it's never gonna last. Get help, because you need it. You can't do it on your own.
5 years from now, Keisha, even I can see where she'll be. I think she'll be way above what she even thinks she'll be. You know, she has such a great and bright future. I keep telling her that. I think she'll be one of the biggest gospel artists in the country. And I pray, and I know she'll do this, she'll probably make a heavy mark in Southern Africa, maybe even Africa at large.
I won't say the future of Keisha, I would say the future of Zambian music. I feel like she's really opened up a door in like how people can express their innermost emotions and struggles. So I feel like what she's done, even at this point, gives us kind of like more openness to also express ourselves regarding that emotional struggle that we go through, or that we know people going through it might be facing. So I feel like she's carved like a lane which didn't exist before.
I think Keisha would have absolutely found herself. She's going to be a very well-rounded artist if she continues at the same consistency. In 5 years, she could be someone who really helps shape our generation, and she would do that based on her experience.